What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to take a look at these Walker's Bluetooth Silencer 2.0. Now the 1.0 version, which is the previous version, was actually the first review I did on YouTube, and it was absolutely horrible. Do not go back and watch it, please. But this was the first review I did because it's probably my favorite piece of gear. I use these constantly, all of the time, and definitely got my money's worth over the past few years. Before we get into these, let me quickly do my disclosure. Yes, I do work in the firearms industry, but that will have no effect on this review in any way, shape, or form. And Walker's did send these to me free of charge for me to review and keep. But once again, I will not let that affect this review in any way. I will tell you all of the pros and cons and be as objective as possible. So the new version, the 2.0 here, I've had them for about 4 or 5 months, and I've easily used them 100 times. If you follow me on Instagram, and why wouldn't you, you'll see me use them all the time when I'm working out, when I'm at the gym, exercising, yard work, all of the time as well. Anytime I want to listen to music, I'll pop these in. And more than anything else, I obviously use them all of the time at the range. The most important feature, in my opinion, on all ear protection is going to be the noise reduction rating, or NRR. These have a 24 NRR, which is pretty good for smaller in-the-ear protection. Some of the bigger muffs have much better protection, but for something like this, 24 NRR is pretty darn good. Now, these also have a new and improved version, a stronger version of Bluetooth over the previous version. Now, I did read that some people had problems with the previous version connecting and losing connection. I never experienced that one time, never had any issues. Nor have I had those issues with the new 2.0 version, but it is something that I read. So the new Bluetooth on here is stronger, and I did test it. I put the old ones on, saw how far away I could walk from my phone, put the new ones on, saw how far I could walk away from my phone, still listen to music. And the new ones were 10-15 feet further, so your range is definitely a little bit better. Obviously, it comes with these two little earbuds that you see here that go inside your ear. This case here, not only is it a cradle for them to sit in, it has a USB plug on the side so you can charge the earbuds, but there's also a battery built into this case as well. So when you put the earbuds in, it's going to recharge the earbuds 2 or 3 times without you having to plug that case in, which is great. Besides the case, the packaging is excellent. I think Walker's nailed it. Nice little magnetic cover, and their packaging is just very aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if you would even care about that. Also comes with a lanyard, which I'll never use, the USB cable that I mentioned. And then it comes with different size adapters to fit inside your ear as comfortably and as snug as possible. And this is very important, because if you don't get the foamy pieces to fit in your ear snug, you're not going to get the proper noise reduction rating, and you risk damaging your hearing, which is a bad thing. Then when you put the earbuds, there's a spot for left and right, and they're labeled L and R, so I hope you can figure it out. But when you put them back in the case, they do light up red to let you know they're charging, and then the red light will go away when they're done being charged. Now, the free Walker's Link app is one of the cooler features that these ear protections have. It allows you to control the ear protection from your phone if you don't want to or can't control them from the AirPro for some reason. So starting at the bottom, there's a button that says connecting, as they are connecting to the Bluetooth earbuds, and then once your phone is connected, that button goes away. Next, you have links for their Facebook and their Instagram, social media if you want to click on them. Above that, you have your auto shut-off timer, which you can completely turn off, or have the Bluetooth headset turn off in 2, 4, or 6 hours. I really love this because I don't know about you, I always forget to turn off my my ear protection rather, and I always go and get a dead battery if it doesn't have an auto shut-off. So yay for auto shut-offs. Above that, you're going to get the 4 modes that pretty much all Walker ear protection have. The first one is universal, and that's the one I use most of the time. It gives you an average sound settings for most conditions. Clear voice is going to be used for something like an indoor range, or somewhere where there's a lot of loud noises and you really want to focus on clear voices. So indoor range is probably the most common example I would give. Power boost is just going to boost all sounds across the spectrum, whether they be gunshots or loud or quiet or people talking, doesn't matter. It's just going to boost everything, still keep it safe for your hearing, but boost the sound of everything louder. High frequency boost, or HF boost, really focuses on noise like steel at very far distance. So if you're shooting several hundred yards away on steel, this will really amplify the sound of your round hitting that steel target. Now right above that, the button may be different depending on if the earbuds are connected or not. Before you connect them, it says connect here. Obviously, you push that button to connect them to your phone. Once it is connected, the button that appears will say check fitment. And what this is to make sure you have a really good seal of the foamies around your ear. So I'll go into the fitment in just a little bit, but when you hit that button, it kills all of the ambient sounds and all of the amplification of the sounds, and it makes it silent so you can see if you can hear anything around you. And you shouldn't be able to hear much of anything at all. Everything should be super muted. If you can hear stuff, the fitment is probably not where it should be, and you should fit them to your ear again. The button above that looks like two little circles linked together, is if you want the left and the right sound of the volume controls to be adjusted together, or for some reason if you want to adjust them separately. So this is going to amplify all of the ambient noises. It's not going, or the music for example, it's not going to amplify any gunshots. So everything still stays, no matter what volume it's on, still stays hearing safe. So with the button unpressed, you can control one volume at a time. You press that button to link them together, and then they move up and down together. The last button on here in the upper right hand corner is just a fitment guide on how to fit the earbuds into your ear properly. Now the way I do it, I squeeze those foamies for a good 10 seconds or so, depending how warm it is. If it's very, very cold out and they've been in my range bag, I'll do this for much, much longer. But as you squeeze them, they shape and they get much more narrow. Once they're very, very narrow and they'll fit inside my ear, I hold the ear protection by the side, not by the front. The front is the control, the sensor pad, which we'll get into next. And if you push them in that way, you're going to turn them on or off or switch modes or do something. So hold them by the side and then go ahead and push it inside of your ear. And then hold it for about another 10 seconds or so those foamies can expand and make that really, really good fit. Wow, that is a lot of talking. Walkers definitely put a lot of features into the app, but they put just as many into the earbuds, and you can pretty much control everything in the on the earbud that you can control in the app as well. Now just so you know, the left earbud will work without the right one, but the right one does not work without the left one. So if you want to use it to talk on the phone, or if you want to use it to listen to music, you always need the left earbud. The whole front of these ear protection is a touch sensor. So as you touch it, you're going to adjust different settings, different controls, which we're going to get into right now. So that's why it's important when you put them in that you hold them by the side when you put them in. And that took me a little while to get used to, because the old ones, it didn't matter. It didn't have that touch sensor, so you could hold it right here to put them in. And I kept on doing that, and I was turning them on or off or adjusting the volume, whatever. I have to look at my notes here because there, like I said, there is a lot of different features in here, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to read the manual more than once when these first came in. Probably the second product ever that I read the manual on. It's not that they're hard to figure out, there's just so many features in there, I was having trouble remembering them all, so I had to go back to the manual a few times. Anyway, the way you turn them on and off, on each of them, you have to do this to each of them, you hold down the touch sensor for a couple seconds, and then it goes doo-doo-doo-doo, Walkers, and that's how you know it's turned on or turned off. Next is going to be the volume control. You can either swipe up or swipe down on these right when they're in your ear. If you swipe down, the volume goes down. You swipe up, the volume goes up. Next, on the right earbud, it's going to allow you to switch between the 4 different modes that I mentioned earlier. You know, high frequency, clear voice, universal, power boost. If you just double tap the right earbud, that's going to switch from one mode to the next. Last but not least, I think this is the last one. Oh yeah, my favorite one. If you're listening to music in a song and you want to skip to the next song, on the left earbud, you double tap, and it switches to the next song. You don't have to dig your phone out from wherever it is if you're working out. And I love that feature because I hate working out when crappy music comes on, so you skip to the next song and you're good to go. Before you go back to playing video games in your mom's basement, let's talk about the pros and the cons real quick. Biggest pro for me is having one set of earbuds that can pretty much do everything I need them to do. So I can talk on the phone, I can listen to music, wear them doing yard work, wearing them when I'm working out, and obviously wearing them to the range. I don't need 2 or 3 sets of earbuds to do so. The app is fantastic, very easy to use. Lots of good features in the app. Battery life, not only of the earbuds, is very good, but having the case to recharge those earbuds 2 or 3 times is great. Not only did I wear these to the range 20, 30 times at least, I wore them working out 50 times at least. I also wore them to an all-day training class with Rune Nation. Wore them all morning, put them in the case during my lunch break, came back, put them back on. They easily lasted all day, and I could have gone several hours past that. On the battery, no sweat there. The Bluetooth power, connectivity, quality, whatever is improved over the previous version, so that is very good. I love how they put so many features into the sensors. With the old ones, I used to have to break out my phone a lot to switch a song or something. With these, everything is built right into them, and it's just, once you learn how to use them, they're a lot more convenient is the word I'm going to use. As far as cons, I don't know if I really have cons, or maybe just 2 things to make you aware of. Guess depends how you look at it. These foamies, compared to the old ones, are a lot harder and a lot stiffer. So they're not quite as comfortable. That is the con. The good thing is I think it gives you a much better seal. It seems like it protects your hearing much better, and they're definitely more durable. The old ones that were more softer, I went through a pair of those foamies every 6 months or so. I had ordered new ones from Walker, where these, I've been using them for 4 or 5 months now, and they, besides a little crud on them, they seem brand new, they seem good. So they're not quite as comfortable for me in my little sensitive ears. But the sound quality and durability is drastically improved. Second con I have is, I don't know if it's a con again or more just a heads up, but be prepared to check out the manual. They're not hard, and hopefully the information I give you really helps you out, but I definitely had to break out the manual, and for me that stood out because that's probably the second manual I've ever read in my life. Not something I do very, very often. So yeah, I would give these a seal of approval. I would recommend them if you're willing and able to spend the money. I think they are a good value, and I use them constantly. MSRP is $300, so these things are not cheap, and I think most people are going to be like, click, I'm done listening. But hear me out. Street price right now is around $250, and again, I use these. I don't have a set of earbuds for the range and something else for the gym and to talk on the phone. I use these for everything, so for me, it's worth it. There is a link down in the video description if you want to get more information or check them out. It's an Amazon affiliate link. You do not pay anything more. I get a very, very small kickback if you pick them up using that link. And again, that price at $250 is right now at the second I am making this video. That will change very, very often. You don't need to yell at me in the comments to let me know. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for watching my review. If you would like to support the channel, the best way to do so is on Patreon. If you are not willing and able to support me on Patreon, no big deal. Just keep the likes and the comments coming because they really, really help me out. Now, if you want to see what videos I have coming out next, please consider subscribing to the channel and enabling the bell notification. This way, you will hopefully get notified when I come out with a new video. If you want to know what videos I am working on right now in real time, consider following me on Instagram, Facebook, and on Parler. The links to all 3 are down in the video description. Now, we do have one very, very important channel sponsor, and that is USCCA. USCCA offers self-defense education, self-defense training, and up to $2 million in self-defense insurance. Click the link in the description if you have a firearm for home defense or for concealed carry. I highly, highly recommend it. One last time, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.